Hello friends, my name is Vijay and you are watching Go to Genius channel. In this video, we are going to learn the most important hook, that is use effect. Use effect is probably going to be the trickiest hook for you to learn. If you have learned the React via stateful components. It certainly was also for me. If we try to understand in very simple language, that is, the effect hook lets you perform side effect in function components. Side effect means like data fetching, setting up a subscription, and manually changing the DOM in React components. These all are the example of side effects. All these tasks you can do inside the use effect hook because in functional components we don't have any lifecycle method. As we know, we don't have any lifecycle methods in functional components. So instead of, we have use effect hook. Whatever we can do inside these lifecycle methods, we can also do all those tasks inside the use effect function. Our use effect function run after every render, means when our component mount, then use effect runs. Any manipulation happens on the DOM, our use effect runs, and use effect also used to unmount or clean up the things like subscription of an API, unmount the state, props and variables, so memory can be free on runtime. If we don't unmount the things in our application, then we know it directly affects the performance of the application. That's why it's necessary to unmount the subscription, unmount the state and variables, and other stuff we can do inside the use effect function. In short, you can say use effect hook is the combination of all these three lifecycle methods. So we must remember that whatever you can do inside these three lifecycle methods, you can also do all those things inside the use effect function. Friends, as we know, frameworks are simplifying their APIs day by day. And that's what use effect is trying to do. It does simplify things for us. So before starting the use effect hook, we have to keep two things in our mind. So what are these two things? First thing is, stop thinking about life cycles. You don't have to remember life cycles functions. Which function will run before render, which function will run after render. Just forget about the life cycle methods. So we have to care about rendering state. The second thing is focus on renders. Also, we have to care about the renders now. As we know, the original render happens after the component mounts. After that, if we perform any action on the DOM, then additional re-renders happen. We just want those renders to sync up with our state and props. That's it, and nothing else. Use effect does this thing with only two arguments. The first argument is the side effect callback function, where you write all your logic for fetching the data from an API, subscription, and clean up your data. And the second argument is an array of state or props to watch. So here states and props could be anything from both of them. Now let's see in code how we can use the effect hook. So friends, here is our code editor. In last video, we have learned about the use state hook. We were importing the social media site list from the list data.js file. Here we have the data of some social media sites like title and URLs, and we are showing on our UI with the help of map function. And here you can see we are performing some action to deleting the items on UI from the list. Now we will see how useEffect function runs inside the functional components. So first let's import the useEffect hook, and here we will write the useEffect function. As we know, it takes two parameters. First it takes the side effect function, so we will use the arrow function for this. For the second parameter we will see later in this video. Now let's focus on how useEffect runs inside the functional components. So here I am just giving the simple console. It will print this message on console, and for the better understanding how component and useEffect rendering, so I am taking one more console outside the useEffect function. So this will print the component rendering message on console. So now let's see on browser first. Let's open the developer tool. Let's see. Now here we can see the console. Just refresh the page one more time. In console both messages are printed. The first message is component rendering, and then useEffect function run. As we have learned that useEffect function runs after our component mount. So this is the first case when our component mount and useEffect runs, and the second case when we perform any action on UI or DOM. So for example, let's perform an action on UI to just delete an item from the list. Again we can see in the console component re-rendering first, and after that useEffect console message printed. That means useEffect function is running after the component update when we perform any action on UI. Here we will see the last time perform delete action on the UI, then our component run first, after that useEffect function runs. Now let's come to the second parameter. For the second parameter we have an array of states or array of props, or you can give both together. If you don't give any value inside the array, then your useEffect function will run only once, even after you perform any action on UI. So let's see it will work or not. Again I am going to delete an item from the list so we can check the differences. Now here we can see only component rendering message printed. That means only this console has printed, not the useEffects console. So friends, you have to remember this thing. If you don't give any value inside this array, then your useEffect function will run only one time when your component will mount. If you want to run your useEffect function on every update on UI, then you have to give the state or props value inside this array. Here we have a state list to watch, so use it inside the array. Now if any change will be happen into this list state, then our useEffect function will run again. So now let's delete an item from the list. So here the list has been changed, and now here messages are printed on the console. Let's revise again. Here we have a list state to watch. If anything will be changed in this list, then our useEffect function will run again. If you want to use multiple states or props inside this array, then we can give the comma separated values like this. That means if any change will be happens in any of these state of props, then our useEffect function will run again. So friends, I hope you understood that how useEffect function work inside any functional component. Now you can do the practice with some more different cases, and in next video we will see another example of useEffect. So see you in next video.